I meant to mention this. I think it was 2 days ago. Maybe I don't know. I guess it couldn't. I guess it had to be Monday. So which was. Are you kidding? No, Monday was 2 days ago. That was not yesterday. That was 2 days ago. Okay, so
2 days ago.
Anywho, I no, I said like thank God I fucking was down here and I was like, oh dude, it's Monday night, no house guests. I can just piss in the sink willingly. No worries. I can just go step on the stool, piss in the sink. And I'll just walk upstairs. But the third or fourth time after the real joy of it really, wore off, where I was just more of a mundane task. I'm like, I'm just pissing in the sink. It wasn't as much of a throw. I'm like, I'm pissing in the sink. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of went back to being a normal occurrence. But randomly, like the fifth time I had to pee,
that's a really good point. Monday when the guests finally
nice.
left, it was like, this is the greatest thing.
This is fucking cool. It's like, so I'm just pissing in a fucking sink. It's not all it's cracked up to be. But no. So for whatever reason, I guess I got bored with the thrill of it. The luster wore off, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go upstairs and be like a big boy. I'm gonna go upstairs and pee.
There's a greater thrill in going to the bathroom.
I know, and thank God, because I went upstairs to piss, and it happened again where I was super high and I peed for way too long. And halfway through the piss, I was like, this isn't stopping. And not only is it not stopping it, but I can tell it's not stopping anytime soon.
I'm getting lightheaded.
And it was literally, and you're thinking like, what are you peeing like? No, I was peeing like, I swear, I'm not even. I don't think I'm being liberal in my estimation. I think I legitimately might have pissed for 2 minutes, like straight, maybe a minute and a half, maybe 90 seconds. But let's say it was 90 seconds. Okay, usually like when I'm peeing for long, but then right after you have that thought, you kind of stop peeing a second. Like, it's feel a little longer. I usually do. So it was a quick little thing. But this time,
usually you stop before you can get scared.
Yeah, but this time I was like, I'm not stopping, and I can feel. I feel like also whenever I'm high, I can really feel like I can feel the piss moving throughout my body.
I'm getting so uncomfortable with this conversation.
And I fucking was peeing, and I peed for another 30 fucking seconds after having the thought. I'm like, oh god, yeah, it's gonna happen. And I just immediately, I'm like lightheaded, I'm climbing as fuck, I'm laying on the ground, like, oh god.
It's crazy you had the forethought to go upstairs to the bathroom and not just stand over the sink.
That's why I said, thank God I randomly was like, I'm not going to piss in the sink this time. I want to go upstairs. And then my body was like, yeah, that's why you're going upstairs, dumbass. And that just proves the fact that we're not actually at all controlling ourselves. People think like you're the person. There's a person inside of you.
I've thought that so many times throughout my life. And this is not going to be a point that helps prove this because you guys have told me how dumb this point is many times throughout my life. But I always thought it was crazy that having this conversation right now, I'm not preemptively thinking about words I'm going to say. They're just coming out. So I've had the thought, something's got to be going on up here before I realize it's going on, because how's it happening otherwise?
Yeah. Also, like, how can I actually decide to lift up my hand? Because obviously it's because there's a person in there who's pressing
exactly. Somebody knows something's happening before it happens.
The craziest part is, too, though, you're thinking, like, this must be some, like, you're thinking, like, potentially, like, that Tom Cruise movie where they're in the sky and everything's all, like, shiny and cool and futuristic. No. This is, like, 19... Okay, Oblivion. That was the name of the movie. And also, it wasn't the important part of this.
I'm sorry.
You're thinking there's really yeah. So and you're thinking about that stuff. You're thinking it's like this really like like that Tom Cruise movie where they're in the sky and everything's like really shiny and cool. Yeah, it's kind of like you're thinking it's like that up there in your brain where like the person who controls it. No, it's nothing like that at all. The crazy part is that it's actually like you're picturing like think of like the most 1980s like, oh my god, we have to destroy the computer room. It's like these big giant machines and everything, like war game stuff. That's actually what's like in your head with like filing cabinets and like a gringy, grimy guy like Lloyd Bridges is in your head right now. And he's the guy who's actually calling the shots. It's a whole entire team like an airplane. It's pretty sick.
I prefer that imagery so much more than the other imagery.
The Oblivion stuff? Yeah, that's
Oblivion
stupid as fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
No. It's like some airplane levels, like what's going on in there, man. It's pretty solid, actually.
Back to the passing out thing, though. So the other night...
before you get to the passing out thing, wouldn't it be cool, though, to also think about it? Then, like, I just thought, because it's all spiraling out. I'm going to start spiraling out of this universe in a second, I think. Which, again, side note, that made me think of the fucking... if you visualize me spiraling out of the universe, how do you picture it? Right now, if I were to literally spiral out of this universe.
I think your body would collapse.
Okay. Well, the way I imagined it as I said it was somewhere in between the reboot of Twin Peaks graphics meets the Prism Phantom Zone in the 1978 and like Smallville and the fucking Superman movie. Like that flat, oh, we're stuck in here.
Well, my initial answer to your question was the Canned Heat video. But I thought you were telling me that's way too stupid of an answer.
No. I saw it.
Yeah, so we were on the same page. Yeah. I just thought you were telling me I'm an asshole.
But I was going to say, I spiraled out of the universe thinking that, Lloyd Bridges is in my head. Like, well, it's not just Lloyd Bridges. They're all in there. Everyone from the airplanes in there, which means everyone who works. I mean, there's actually there's a whole entire society. And I started thinking of the whole entire thing. Like, there's actually, what if there's just each person is that level of a person, of a person, of a person, of a person? mean, also now I'm thinking of South Park, the episode with the fucking when he jacks off into the I think the spider monkeys or whatever it was, and then now they're building a society.
I don't think I remember that episode.
The episode where Cartman creates life, and's God, and then they have another. Then the other one's building a god, I think, to Butters. And he's like, what? And then the two of them, they go into a fucking fight, the two of them, where like his society kills their society.
Yep, I remember this.
Yeah, man, it's a lot funnier when I have to explain it for a whole minute and a half too.
It's not funny,
especially because here's the best part of why it's so funny too. This is what's like really cool about that. The people who didn't know what I was referencing didn't even acknowledge it. They just went right by them like fodder. They didn't hear any of it, and the people who did recognize it were like, "It's the episode of South Park," and then I had to just tell them it was the episode of South Park for a whole minute.
Well, we're trying to get both sides of the audience here.
By alienating each one evenly.
Yeah.
Makes sense, actually, yeah.
That way no one feels alienated.
That's true. It's like the same way to combat racism. Just be so racist to the point where it's like, well, it's not even racism at this point. It's just, it's something monstrous, but it's not racism anymore. It's something, you're creating something much bigger than that. And then I guess that's the episode of this one's called promoting. We'll do the whole It's Always Sunny thing. We'll go very offensive, quick things, titled boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I don't think you're contributing a lot this episode so far.
I was trying to, and I didn't know where to check in, and I don't know what to talk about, but I do want to talk about this for a second.
The fact that you're finally contributing and it's talk about a fucking beard thing, yeah.
I would love to get these guys to come on and sponsor us, because I actually got a comment on my beard today at work, and I've never been complimented on my facial hair my entire life. And okay, I'll stop.
Robbie, finish the thing.
I thought you were going to say it.
I don't know the name of this place.
I'm showing it to you. Isner Mile. I don't know how to say it.
Okay, Robbie, hold on. I'm going to show it to you. See me show it to me. Ready? Look.
That's not how I showed it to you. Yeah, and I can read this. It's Eisner.
No, this was the side you had painting to me. You fucking moron. How are you reading the front if you're also showing me the front?
I don't know. I thought it was the same thing on both sides.
She's you're showing me. You're like, hey, what is this? It's your turn to talk, Robbie? It's your turn to talk?
Okay, I can't see it. I'm sorry.
What is this? All right, give the shout out, Robbie.
So, a year ago, okay, I always thought my facial hair was decent. Okay, it was always patchy, never what I wanted it to be, and I had it.
Dude, no, this isn't a commercial. You just did like you're the guy saying the thing. You're the guy in the commercial saying this is what my life used to be like. But then I did.
It's true though.
Now I'm addicted to helping. Okay.
Addicted to hugs. It's true though.
She doesn't seem addicted to hugs in that movie.
Yeah,
She's addicted to helping. What the fuck is wrong with you? You condescending prick. Why are you so snide?
Because I thought I was right.
Because that's not an excuse.
It's a pretty good answer though.
Because I thought I was right. Okay, that's cool, man. That's sick.
It's a good answer. And it justifies being snide. I thought I was right, so I had the reason to be snide. It makes complete sense.
Bro, you're batting 0%. Anyway. And that's not even true. That's not true. The first minute and a half, you were on fire with me.
I know. It was pretty
And then
good.
you just were like, I did my work for the day. I'm checking out.
No, you know what happened?
Put in my time.
No. I had 3 or 4 points I wanted to add, and you kept continuing your point. I was like, okay, well, now my point doesn't really make any sense anymore, so I'm just going to drop it. But no, shit. Now I don't have any points to bring up because now you said everything that we needed to say.
So do you think maybe what was happening was for the first time you were actually just going along with the conversation instead of trying to fucking think of things to talk about?
No, I wasn't trying to think of anything at all. I was trying to contribute to the conversation.
Which you were doing until you actively were trying to.
Yeah, but then the problem was you wouldn't let me say anything. Then you would say that.
God.
No, it's not an insult. You wouldn't let me say anything. But then the thing I was going to say anyways.
You think you could ever insult me in the first place?
But you're acting insulted, so shut up. The thing that I would have said, you got to.
Shut up on my own podcast, Robbie. That's cool. You tell your brother shut up like that.
And then you're right. I wasn't contributing. Then when I go to contribute, you make sure you go out of your way to prove to me how much I'm not contributing. So it's really, I can't succeed no matter what I fucking do.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I won't go into the commercial fucking voice.
Do you want to know the best way to prove that you're damned if you do, damned if you don't?
Sure.
Did you by any chance buy bread or cheese today?
That's hilarious.
That's just because the TV went off over there and flashed. Did you buy bread or cheese today, Robbie?
No.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I did not.
That just ruined the joke entirely. Oh my God. I was going to say, proof you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. You finally buy the grilled cheese stuff and then mom makes dinner magically.
No, you want to know what actually happened today? So you asked me to buy grilled cheese stuff Wednesday last week?
Yeah.
So a week ago.
I don't like saying grilled cheese stuff. It's bread and cheese.
Yeah, the stuff to make grilled cheese.
It's so weird to say grilled cheese stuff. It's like it's implying it's this long. I had to get the cheese and the bread.
I had to get the stuff.
All the stuff. You know, the cheese and the bread. It's a lot of stuff.
So I didn't want to get it last week because I was too tired after work. The stuff for grilled cheese.
Grilled cheese stuff.
And I said, I promise I'll make it for you either tomorrow, as in last Friday, or Monday. So it's already well past when I'm supposed to make it. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get it today. and I called to see if we had any of the stuff for the grilled cheese.
Yeah.
You didn't answer your phone. You said you can't talk. Call Mom.
Yeah, Robbie, I was too busy making a blockbuster trade in fantasy football.
Did you hear me
where
say
I was trading away Gabe? Listen, guys, Gabe Davis and Khalil Herbert for fucking Jamar Chase. Continue on the story. No comments. Go continue on.
So you say call Mom. I call Mom. She doesn't answer her phone. No one responds to the text. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'm just leaving to go after. And then Dad sends me 4 texts rapidly. Go, no, don't leave. Mom's making dinner. Don't do this. Hello. And then he calls me, and this is all this is all from 5:58 to 5:59. Okay,
that's pretty sick.
And then he says, "Fuck it, don't go to the store." I called him back. He goes, "Your mom's making dinner. Don't worry about it."
Yeah.
And then you call me 2 seconds in. You go, "How fucking stupid is it that today you're gonna buy the food?" Everyone says okay. Then all of a sudden, no one can make you eat the food.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking ridiculous.
So no, I didn't buy anything because I got.
Well,
the
it would have
okay
been funny
not
if
to.
you already had bought it first. So I guess this is cool too because it filled up a minute of talking. But like, it would have been also pretty funny if you were like, "I know that's complete bullshit."
Speaking how,
but it's fine.
Speaking how little I contribute to everything.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I had so much I wanted to talk about on here.
Yeah.
And I don't know, 3 o'clock, I was sitting down here by myself listening to music, just like thinking of all the things I wanted to talk about. I heard somebody walking upstairs, and I was convinced it was you coming down the stairs. So I'm like, okay, he's going to come down. I'll be able to talk about all this in a second. 10 minutes, goodbye. You're still not down here. I'm like, okay, maybe it wasn't Alex. It was Maya or Mom or something. Let me go in here and try to practice recording for a change.
How'd that work? Yeah. Is that on here?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So my thought process was, I usually fuck this thing up. I have a lot I want to talk about. I'm on a roll, I think, mentally. Because what I'll do, if I have something I want to talk about, I'll practice it in my head. And goddamn, am I smooth as shit.
Yeah, man.
When I practice it,
it's like
I'm
butter,
so
right?
fucking. It's better than butter.
Yeah, man. Margarine.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so good when I practice. And then the second we come in, I'm like,
I thought you were going to be like, nah, dude, you know what's better than margarine? Vegetable cream cheese. That's what I was so I had it cocked, and I was like, you're a fucking douchebag. I was waiting for it. I was ready to fucking pounce, and you robbed me of that.
So I had all these thoughts, and I was convinced this was like, I had 20 minutes worth of shit to talk about.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's probably not 20 minutes. It's
You're right.
probably more like 5 or 6
I'll tell you this right
minutes.
here. You've never once in the history of ever had 20 minutes of something to talk about.
That's probably true.
You're always saying that. It's always like exactly 3 minutes.
So I realized
I guess I really do suck in bed.
I realized that the longer it took for you to get down here.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, let me come in here. I'll record it and practice. That way, at least I get a little more practice.
Yeah,
I can.
did you
I
come
can
in here doing
eventually-
your were you like so yeah, Alex, I had this thought today. Were you
No.
doing you weren't doing one of your voices? You were
No,
just talking
dude,
like a normal
it was-
person?
I wish I did one of my voices. That would have been less embarrassing than the reality what happened. So fuck. I had all this confidence to come in here. I'm like, no, it's gonna be great. Alex isn't in here, so there's no pressure. I don't have to try to impress you. It's not like anyone can actually hear me right now. There's literally nothing. It's the equivalent of me practicing by myself anyways. Just now there happens to be a microphone.
Practice makes perfect. Need 10,000 hours. The whole thing. Yeah.
Dude, I thought I would at least get 2 minutes into the recording before I fucking had to give up. It was maybe 5 seconds. Just hearing my own breath, like the sigh of, okay, now I have to get into mode.
I fucking hate you.
Yeah, basically. We talk about how my voice changed when I want to tell stories. It went from, right now I'm in my normal voice. For
Yeah, I was
the
gonna
most
say
part.
I didn't want to comment on it. Like, you're gonna lose immediately whenever you do an impression.
So
you'll do a
this is-
spot on impression. I'm like, that was a great archer. And you're like, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, now I can never speak my voice again.
Yeah, and dude, can you
I don't know if
imagine?
I can impersonate the podcast Robbie voice. I would do my best to do it now.
How you just kept a quick way.
But it was like, okay, so guys,
yeah,
this is
that's
what's
actually
going
perfect,
on.
man. Spot on.
That's not, but that's what happened, and it was literally, I'm like, this is pathetic.
Yeah,
I hate myself.
Honestly, can I tell you something right now? That's kind of pathetic.
It was pathetic. You've been telling me for years to stop referring to myself as pathetic. This is what I want to talk about last. This is a natural way to go into what I want to talk about last night. Yesterday, I had a rude awakening yesterday. Dude, I am so entitled.
Nice.
And like,
here's the podcast episode. We always say when we think we're not going to use it. No, that's a phenomenal podcast title episode.
It gets better. I've been unaware of it my entire life.
Okay.
Do you have any idea the earth-shattering fucking revelation that was for me yesterday?
I don't know.
What are my
man.
2 biggest pet peeves with people? I'll tell you my 2 biggest pet peeves with people.
Yeah,
I
thank you.
fucking can't stand people that are entitled.
Yeah.
It infuriates me.
Okay.
Because it's always like, who the fuck are you?
Who the fuck are you, Brenda?
But the thing that really bothers me, and I complain about this a lot,
Yeah.
is when people are unaware of how they behave about things.
Yeah.
And I've been guilty of both those to the highest fucking degree
To
for
the
years.
umpteenth degree for the last one for sure. I don't know about that first one. That's usually I don't think I've ever heard you complain about people being entitled. But as far as you, what was the second thing you said?
Being unaware of their own behavior.
Yeah, that's actually pretty spot on.
Yeah, and
that's actually pretty. That's actually that's like a golf clap worth of an answer. That's pretty good on you, man.
Thank you.
That's a nice diagnosis.
And I felt disgusting for the last 48 hours after realizing that.
Okay, see, now you're just like you just put your tip in me, okay? I don't understand. You feel like you left a lot of the story on the table there.
Oh yeah, I'm not done.
Okay, I felt like that was the end of the conversation. I think you just left it very abruptly in the middle of that.
No. I just meant like, yeah, you're right. I got to massive revelation. I felt disgusting for the last 2 days because of it.
Then continue. I thought that was the end. I was like, that's you did this magical thing where you told the story without telling us a single thing.
Well, now I lost my train of thought. So I'm not, but I don't know how to describe the feeling of shock that happened yesterday. I realized you're right. The entire thing I don't verbalize so much, but it really bothers me when people think they're owed something.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It bothers me a lot when people think that they're owed a fucking thing. And I've been going on for years going, well, I don't act like I'm owed things. I'm just desperately trying to get the chance to prove myself. And I don't think that's the same thing. No, I think you
kind of do act like you're owed things quite often.
Oh, yeah. I realized this yesterday.
Because I was going to say, I feel like all the time you kind of think like, and I think there's a lot of times where I'm talking you off the cliff telling you like, no, well, it's not really that person's blah, 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 blah.
I realized that I've badmouthed someone on here a couple of times, and really that was me becoming entitled because I feel like I don't ask for a lot of things, and the one thing I do ask for doesn't work exactly how I want it to.
Yeah.
And I become this massive fucking prick about it.
This is crazy. You know who you get that from?
Who?
Guess.
Our parents?
Both of them, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
So, perfect example. People who complain about things they're unaware of are parents.
Yeah.
And I've been really riding the coattails of that argument. And I've been thinking how intelligent I am as an individual for like, they complain about things that the other person does and they're so oblivious to it. Ha 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 ha.
And you're like, these fools.
Dude, I realized yesterday, I mean, I know all I do is bitch and moan, but I really thought for the last X amount of years that there was a validity to my bitching and moaning. Mm-hmm. There's no fucking validity to anything I say, and it really hurt yesterday.
Well, here's what I want to say to you, though. I feel like you're on fire right now.
Hold on. Before you say your thing, though, we've had this conversation outside of this podcast to the point where you're telling me the revelation I'm revealing to you right now. But for some reason, you telling me it wasn't good enough. I had to somehow just experience it on my own.
That's been the thing with everything, ever.
Yeah.
With everything.
Is that just a me thing?
That's a you thing.
It's not a people thing, it's just a Robbie thing?
It's a people thing, but it happens to be coincidentally a people thing for a Robbie kind of person.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of people like that where I'll give them the... Because I guess now there's going to be some assholes like, because you can't give advice, you can only show them they got to fire themselves. Shut the fuck up right now. So this is not the time for that, okay?
And I heard the advice you gave, and I agreed with it. Yeah, I heard it. I didn't listen. 100%, yeah, you're right.
But you didn't listen.
You're right.
But no, I was gonna say I feel like you're on fire right now. So I guess that little hiccup in the middle there was just like you spurting out the last little fucking bit of spunk. So you're just like, yeah, no, this is my last little gasp of terribleness for the podcast. And there's gonna be all cylinders from then on out.
You know, I forgot what it was the last couple days we listened to, but we listened to something. It was either from the Matt and Shane podcast.
Yeah, I think it was Matt and Shane's Secret podcast. MSSP.
Or it was from the Barstool episode with Andrew Schultz on it.
That was a good episode. Yeah, part of my take. Fuck Barstool.
What did I say?
You said Barstool. Oh, yeah. Fuck Barstool. Part of my take.
Yeah. So it was either one of those.
Implies I like all of Barstool, and I'll be the first one to say it. I actually don't like the majority of what they do.
Yeah, I stole your punch.
I like maybe 5 of their things.
It was one of those 2 things you're listening to, but I wrote a note down like, oh, dude, yeah, I figured out how I can be better on the podcast.
Yeah.
So easily. This was a thing, and I was not...
You're like, I'm just going to become PMT.
I don't remember what it was. I'm not going to pull up the note because I don't want to ruin anything. But like, I had this revelation where I felt so good about everything. And I forgot about the revelation.
Nice.
And then I went through my experience yesterday and today. And yesterday I was so upset. I'm like, I have to write this down. And I was like, if I don't talk about this on the podcast, is this going to be one of those things where I'm like, hey, this is a real day where I grew and I learned something about myself. I'm going to forget about it tomorrow and go right to my usual routine.
So you wanted to actually like get it. Yeah, that's funny. You want to be held accountable.
Yeah, but somehow it stuck with me. And I was thank God.
That's you know what that is? That's the New York Football Giants wearing off on you. They keep talking about the whole playing for your teammate, next man up. So? Yeah, that's the New York Football Giants. Really, that's Joe Shane and Brian Daboll. They're really wearing off on you.
I hope so.
They're wearing off on me so much that I actually made a new Twitter handle. It's got Alex Butt Balls.
Yeah, I have to say something about that new Twitter. I think it's better than your other Twitter.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm actually thinking about just making like, I don't know, 8 Twitter accounts for 8 different topics. I think that's the problem. My main Twitter is too scatterbrained. That's not ideal. What I have to do is just come up, I guess just start really, first off, the fact that Alex Butt Balls wasn't taken,
it's amazing.
That was a god. I thought this cannot be. That's impossible. And realistically, it should have been. I should not be afforded that handle. That's fucking.
I was shocked when I saw it.
Alex Butt Balls. Dude, I can talk about football, talk about basketball, baseball, volleyball, maybe. I guess I could talk about hockey, kind of. Close enough.
Close enough.
Or, you know, hey,
Don't
maybe next season I turn into a hockey fan. I'm making Alex butt pucks.
That's
like butt fucks. Could work out.
That's fucking funny.
I got the handle right now. I gotta get the handle before I upload this episode. I'm gonna take it.
I think you should just make the handle and never do anything with it, just so you can
Speaking
own it.
of the
and you can
fucking-
sell it for
the-
$1 billion later on.
I was gonna fucking say, dude. I was gonna say this is the Kryptonesia thing. I was gonna say, isn't it funny with the fucking thing about the thing about the thing? I was gonna say, oh no, it's the goddamn thing from Pardon My Take. I was gonna say organically how that one guy like bought all the NFL teams and was like, yeah, I fucking own Cowboys.com. Suck my dick. Okay. He's like, yeah, I own MiamiDolphins.com. And that they were talking about it on Pardon My Take, but for a second I thought that was my original concept of like, oh, that's something that's happening. Like, no, I just fucking watched that 2 days ago and you just talked about it 5 minutes ago.
I think the Matt and Shane podcast that jumped back 5 minutes ago is slowly changing my life a little bit.
MSSP, they're pretty funny, dude.
Because I'm the type of person who will, I finally figured out why I'm so anxious all the time. I'm going to work on it and stop doing about it. Today's Monday. I'm going to start working about it today. Today's Tuesday now. I forgot what I said yesterday.
Yeah.
Monday, the revelation, forgot about it already. Listen to Matt and Shane have a revelation, stuck with me for 2 days.
Yeah, that's actually true. But I was gonna say, I think also the real takeaway from that, because I agree. I think my podcasting, which I know you're already thinking like it's already primo 10 out of 10. I think it actually, I guess it went from 10 out of 10 where I started to now being at 11 out of 10 after listening to them. Because I feel like it really clicked with me. Like, oh no, wait, no, you're not doing. You're recording a fucking podcast. So you should put in. You should actually care this much about what you're doing. We were putting so much pressure on, like, we have to sound a certain way.
I think that was part of the thing.
And then listen to these guys who don't care at all. You're like, oh no. The whole you're just talking. That's it. That's what it is. You're just using words. You've done your whole entire life. Nothing's changed. That's the crazy part.
A lot's changed though, and there's a barrier here. And I think I might have figured out the little trick to your point. I think I might have dribbled out the last bit of terribleness. I hope.
Yeah.
Because if you noticed, there's something that's been going on today. It's different than every time we've been recording for the last 2 months.
You've known when to talk and when not to talk.
Okay, there's two differences.
There's two
That's the
distinct
major
differences.
difference.
Yeah,
there's
that's the
a
major one,
minor
man.
difference though.
I don't know what it is, so you can tell me.
I haven't smoked today.
Oh, that's the positive.
No. My point is though, I managed to.
Whoa. This is not becoming the podcast where we take a stance against the green.
No, never.
This is a cast.
Never.
This is a pro-green cast.
Yeah, obviously. My point was
That might be the name of the episode. That's actually a pretty good episode title. Pro-green cast. That leads a lot to the imagination. Continue.
My point was though, I managed to be this good today without any help.
Yeah, that's a big step, man.
Yeah,
you
you
didn't
wanna-
use any vices.
I didn't. That's
Well, you
me.
drank a little bit, actually, quite a bit.
Does wine count? I
Heroin
had a
count?
little bit of wine.
Yeah, that's true. Wine's for fucking pussies, dude. Wine doesn't count at all. Fuck wine, bro.
But we've reached our 22-minute mark. I think the
Yeah.
cool, calm, collected Robbie's gone now. And the shitty podcast was going to start seeping back in pretty soon. We want to reel this back up.
Oh, I thought you were gonna like have a nice little beautiful goodbye. We're gonna be like, I just want to say, guys, this is the last time you're going to hear from Shitty Podcast. Was the early part. This is the new Robbie.
No, I want to get out now before new Robbie's afraid and goes back and hides for the next 10 years.
How likely is it to happen? Is it
If we don't end right now, yeah, it might happen. So
all right, well, I can't get into it. Okay, I wanted to get to the lyrics of There's a Great Beautiful Tomorrow, start playing it and singing it, but I can't. There's no time. Okay, bye.